The next morning, Hen and Duck were both on their walk downtown. Little Bear and his friends went with Emily to their college where she was going to, because since her graduation was coming up, they wanted to make sure that Little Bear and his friends, as well as his parents, were all invited to the graduation. This is a nice walk. Just us, Duck, Hen said as she was walking with Duck. I agree. The docks and the seagulls and the boats are pretty sight to see, even where the ocean is, Duck said in agreement. It sure is beautiful, a voice said from behind them. Suddenly, Duck and Hen were both grabbed by two older men. They were struggling to get free as well as crying out in fear from being grabbed. They didn't know who those men were behind them. Hey, let us go! Quack! Duck shouted as she and Hen were both shoved into the crates with air holes. Yeah, who on earth says you could push us into these crates? Hen scolded. Says me, you and Duck as well as the cat will be going to a meat market in Asia, Patrick said, staring at the captive animals. Let's us go. We have our friends that will come and save us, Duck scolded. Friends, eh? Well, I'll give Emily and your friends a clue on where you are. They have until tomorrow afternoon when the boat leaves for Asia. Patrick smirks as he begins writing a note to tell Emily and her friends where Duck and Hen are, and if they want them back, they're going to have to come to the docks before the boat takes off to Asia. Duck and Hen felt helpless. They were both trapped in crates without any ways of escaping. Unless someone were open to crates to free them, they can only hope that Emily and Little Bear, as well as their friends, can get the message from the men that have captured them and that they can be freed. After looking for Little Bear and his friends in Wild Country, Mother Bear and Father Bear still had no luck on finding them, just as they were about to lose hope in finding them. But there was still one place that they hadn't thought to look where yet. I believe there is one place we haven't looked yet, so I'm pretty sure they ought to be there, Father Bear said. Where? Mother Bear asked. The city. We haven't looked there yet. Do you believe they would go there? Father Bear questioned. Well, I don't see why they would go there, but if it has to do with them wanting Emily to see her again, perhaps we should go there too, Mother Bear answered. There is a train at the station that will take us there, so let's head to the city by train, Father Bear said. When we get to the city, we can start by looking for them. As Father Bear said that, he and Mother Bear headed home so they can get their things for their trip to the city. It was going to be a long while before they can get to the train station, but it will be worth going to the city to see if Little Bear and his friends are okay. Back in the city, Emily, along with Little Bear, Cat, Owl, Mitzi, and No Feet, were all having lunch in the cafeteria in the college Emily goes to. I aced my exams, and you all got graduation tickets, Emily said. And now I am all in the clear. I have finally made my decision on something. What is it? Cat asked. After I graduate college, I'm going to move back to Woodland to start my science career on wildlife. So that means you'll be seeing me more often, Emily replied. Hearing the news made Little Bear and his friends happy. That's awesome, Emily, and then you can hang with us, Little Bear says as he hugged Emily. Chanel is also going to move in with me so she can assist me on projects there, Emily added. That'll be awesome. Two people working together, Owl commented. Indeed, it will be great. I wonder where Hen and Duck are. They should have been here like 15 minutes ago. Emily wondered as she still hasn't seen Duck or Hen arriving yet. They did take a walk by the docks where the boats are, so maybe they're still there, Mitzi suggested. Well, we'll look for them there, but let's take some lunch with them too, Emily says as she begins to pack up her things. But first, I have to head back to my house so I can give my parents their grad tickets, as well as they have yours for safekeeping. Smart idea, Emily. We wouldn't want to lose those tickets now, do we? Owl said, liking how Emily was being smart about the grad tickets. Meanwhile, by the train station, Mother Bear and Father Bear were waiting to catch the train. They have been waiting for an hour for the train to come. Since it goes from Woodland to the city, the train ride there would take a couple of hours. How long is the train ride? Mother Bear asked. About a couple of hours. The city is a long way from Woodland, Father Bear answered, as they waited for the train station by the train station benches. I sure hope Little Bear is okay. He and his friends have been wanting to see Emily. I wish he would have told me about it, Mother Bear replied, as the train pulled up to the stop at the station. Some of the animals that were on board the train, as well as some people, came out of the train cars. Soon, little Mother Bear and Father Bear climbed on board the train. Once they were on the train, they took their seats and waited for a couple of minutes. After a couple of minutes later, the train slowly started to leave the station from Woodland to the city. I know, but I believe he and his friends really want to see her again. They hadn't seen her in years, Father Bear said. Let's just hope they'll be okay, Mother Bear replied. Back in the city, Emily and her friends arrived back at Emily's house. However, along the way, they looked for Hen and Duck, but they didn't see them, not even at the docks. As Emily was about to reach for the keys to the house from her pocket, Little Bear noticed a note and picked it up, being taped to the door. What is that? Emily asked. It's a note, and it doesn't look good, Little Bear replied. He and his friends soon took notice and gathered around the note to see what it says. What does it say? Owl asked. Oh no! Duck and Hen have been kidnapped! Little Bear exclaimed. Really? By who? Cat asked. Let me see, Emily said to Little Bear. He then handed the note to Emily, and as soon as she read the note, her color drained. Hen and Duck had been kidnapped by two men named Barney and Patrick, and they planned to have shipped them all the way to Asia for the meat market, Emily said, suddenly with exclaimed shock and worry in her voice. Why would they do that? Betsy asked, feeling uneasy about the situation. In some countries in Asia, they eat animals like cats, dogs, and the list goes on. Chickens and ducks, too, Emily answered. We gotta get Duck and Hen back, or they'll be turned into food at the Asian meat market, Little Bear stated. Where can they be? Cat asked. The note says that they are both in crates by the docks. So you know where the boats are? So we already know where they are, but there is a deadline, Emily answered. We only have until tomorrow afternoon before the boat leaves for Asia. We gotta get them back. This isn't good, No Feet gulped nervously. We know where the docks are, but what crates carries the animals in? Owl asked. I think we should head there together in the early hours of the morning. After Hen and Duck are free, we'll confront our captivators, Cat added. Sounds like a smart idea. Me and Owl will go. Emily, take the rest inside, and we'll plan on how to free them, Little Bear instructed, as he and Owl headed for the docks. Once they got there, they looked around. Let's stick together, Little Bear said. Those people who have Duck and Hen might get us if we're split up, Owl suggested. You do have a point. With us together, we still have a better chance, Little Bear agreed. As they searched for the crates around the docks, there was no one there, so this was a great time to look around. Little Bear? Owl? A voice called out. It sounded like Duck. Duck? Where are you and Hen? Owl asked. We hear you, but which crates are you in? Little Bear added, questioning Duck. We're over here, Duck quacked as Little Bear and Owl followed the sound of Duck's quacking. As Owl and Little Bear followed the sound of Duck's quacking, while being careful not to get caught by anyone who could be monitoring the docks. As soon as they drew closer, they both found Hen and Duck in crates, with some holes for air in them. Little Bear, thank goodness you found us, Hen exclaimed. What happened to you two? Owl asked. Hen and I were minding our own business on the docks. Suddenly, these men grabbed us and put us in crates, Duck explained. We're going to get you out of here. I promise, Little Bear said. Does Emily and the others know? Hen asked. Yes, and before the sun rises the next morning, we'll come to free you, Owl explained. Oh, thank goodness. A boat is going to have us being shipped to Asia by tomorrow afternoon. We're going to be sold as food for the meat market. It's dangerous there, Duck said. That's awful. We'll have to have you two out before then. Those men are Barney and Patrick. Emily has a plan that will put those two behind bars, Little Bear replied. That's good news. We'll see you all tomorrow morning, Hen sighed in relief. As Duck did the same, Owl and Little Bear knew that what they had planned to do tomorrow morning was going to be very risky, but they had to get Duck and Hen free. The mission was going to put them and the others at risk of being caught or worse, but it was their only chance they have left.